All right, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Another episode of the No Risk, No Glory podcast. Purpose of the podcast is to basically bring out stories that people that I, know and trust and respect, for them to bring their stories to the podcast to inspire you or to inspire anybody to make big decisions in life, because that's how I think, life becomes more interesting. So with that being said, I want to welcome Wisam Mshati from Mshati Productions.
Wow. I like the pronunciation too. Yes, you got it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Welcome.
Thanks, Ru.
Welcome, bro.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. It's
It's
getting
exciting
warmer.
for you.
It's getting warmer. And that's exciting. And that's exciting.
Yeah.
And that's exciting. Because summer's coming around, but it's been busy. It's been busy.
All right, man.
So let me ask you, first question.
Yeah.
Tell us what
we
you
just jump right into it.
We're going straight into it. We're going straight into it. We've got a lot to talk about.
Let's go.
All right.
Okay.
Tell us, introduce yourself and, tell me what you're doing and how long you've been doing this particular thing.
Okay. So my name is Wisam Mshati, and I own a company called Mshati Productions. It's we're basically a content creation company. So we're doing everything from the small social media posts that you see, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, all the TikToks, the trending stuff that you're seeing, all the way to multi-million dollar homes. And we're touring those, we're creating content for those with drones, with all kinds of latest technology, all that. And there's that side of the business. And then we have the other side of the business is just creative content for brands and ads and all that. So it's not just real estate, but real estate consumes a big part of the business right now. And then we still have the other stuff, but I enjoy it and we've gotten very good at it and our clients love the work. So I'm putting all the focus in real estate right now. And I'm trying to build the other part, but right now it's real estate. That's in a nutshell.
So like media,
okay.
Currently, and then there's a big, I guess, focus on real estate right now, and that's how we met, right?
Yes, that's how we met.
Okay.
We met through our mutual friend, Nerses, right? Big City Realty, shout out. And that's where we met. And it was like I was always running around with a drone or a camera before that point, but there was I think we'll talk about it later, but it's been 2020, so end of 2019 2020 became a full-time, it became Mshati Productions. This is it. And it's been now, can't believe it's been over 2 years.
Okay, so those 2 years went by quickly. So I want to I want to unpack kind of that stuff. So okay, I mean, you were running around with the camera. So, I mean, you obviously had a passion for it. So like, how did you get started with just wanting to make productions and like produce and, be involved with video, audio and all this stuff? Like, what was the spark that kind of got you started?
It's so funny. This is something I think about all the time. Like it comes up quite a bit. In my my dad, when I talk to him or I talk with just people around me that know me. And then so if I go way back to when I was, I don't know, 8 maybe, we had a camera. My dad had one of those old cameras with a small cassette, like the tape in there, and you're just running around taping it. Then you turn it into the VHS, like you put it on VHS and they watch it. Like, but I grew up in Syria also. Like this is not too long. I'm not that old, but still. So I was exposed to it as an early age. We had it around and I enjoyed it. So I was the guy that is doing the family weddings and baptisms and whatever parties. And as I grew up, my interest in technology kind of got more and more. So then I started following like all the phones, and then the cameras on the phone start doing crazy things. My friends and I used to shoot skits of just stupid stuff. on an old Nokia phone with like when the files were 3GP. They weren't even nothing. MP4 wasn't a thing. So there's like that childish kind of, yeah, let's just have fun with it. And then when I moved to North America, obviously then now you have access to everything and you just get it. So I got into drones in 2014, and it was just for fun, for absolute fun. There was nothing. I was just a nerd, liked the toy, told my wife.
Technology. You like the technology.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I told my wife, you know what? You always ask me what I want. That's one of the gifts, right? Put it on the list. And then she got it for me and started flying drones. And then that became into, okay, flying drones for business or for someone, right? And then it just carried on from there. And then I would say like 2013, when I was here in Canada, 2013, 2014, 2014, 2015, I started offering it as a service because of my good friend Narcisse, who came to me. He's like, so you have all this stuff, it's great, but you know, there's opportunity here. And then that just opened it.
Gotcha. Okay.
So how I started, I guess the direct answer for you is, I mean, I liked the hobby and then it just brought me here. So it's one of those unique or whatever, like cliches. They tell you, do what you love. And I am lucky. I understand that I'm very lucky and I'm grateful that I got the opportunity to do what I like and then end up being very good at it and being successful at it and then making money out of it and then so on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's the key to being successful is you gotta enjoy some aspect of it. Right.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
the more of it you like, the more successful you'll be, because I mean, as long as you monetize that, like, you know, that talent. Right. So that's the business side, you know what I mean? And that's what you're like, obviously always going to be working on your talent. You kind of have now because you've developed it and it will refine itself. But the new aspect for you is the business portion of it. Right. And like being in business and like, and the, you know, things that come up with that. So, okay. Based on all of that, you know, what's a decision that you've had to make to go into business yourself or really anything, like any big decision that you've had to make in life to get you to this point? You know, what was that? And like, what did it feel like? And then, you know, like, would you do it again? You know, would you make that same decision? Because otherwise, where would you have ended up? Or, you know, what else would you be doing? So like, think of a time when you had to make a decision like that.
Okay. So I know it's interesting because I know the point that kind of like a pivotal point that you're talking about. I know what that point is. The funny thing about my story is that like I was on the edge. I was like, you know, I talk to my wife every day about it. This was 2019. We talk about it constantly. I hate it. I don't like my job. I'm done with it. I'm good at it. I'm making money, but it's on the side. I was already doing this stuff.
Gotcha.
Right. Like, so I guess that I was leading up to it. So it wasn't like I didn't, right. It's just giving you a little background. So it kind of put you in the whole narrative of it. But I was trying to, and it was constantly like, but if I, you know, like if I lose my salary and then how are we gonna, there's always that, you know, you're in a job. I was there for 5 years. It's comfortable. It's quiet in here. We have a nice couch, you know, it's cozy. Right. And then the thought of you having to get up and go outside in the cold and be like, hey, you know, we're starting over. It's like, and that's what it is, right? Like you're comfortable. I was sorry, that was a metaphor for anybody who's listening that didn't catch it. I was playing on how freezing it is over here, but we
got smart people like, listening. They got it.
Right. I know. We could cut that out. If anybody's going to offend it, we can cut that out.
Oh, but honestly, it's cold outside, so maybe somebody
it is.
It is for sure.
So when I guess like I was there, I was not comfortable, and I know a lot of people around me, people that like very good friends of mine are in the same situation. You know, like I don't want to do this 9 to 5, but I have to, and you know, we have a good life, you know, but it's okay. Why the why, right? And I think that was there.
Yeah. Why would you do this? What's wrong with you? Are you crazy? You're giving all this up?
Yeah.
Like,
think.
Like, just take a second, step back, think about it. Think about it.
Yes. So for me, it was like, okay, I need to do it. I need to do it. That's it. Like we were talking about it. Okay, we start saving up. We had we were creating, there was a plan. There's, okay, we're going to save this much money. We're going to just put it there to cover for this many years. And this adventure is going to take a year. And then in a year, we're going to decide, okay, do we continue or do we not? Right. Like, because I mean, it's on my own. Obviously we have family. So I have a partner. So my wife, this conversation we're having all the time. So we're talking about it, and then end of 2019 they let me go of my job. So they let me go, I don't. Right, like I'm sitting there, and then one day, and my boss, who's my mentor, we still are in touch until this day. We're very close. He shout out James, by the way. He will yeah. So he will he called me, he's like, hey, listen, I don't know how to tell you this, so there's only one way. They're downsizing, and it's about 10 people, you're one of them, but this is it. Because I was already open with him about it for about a year. I'm like, I don't like this, I want to leave, but I don't know what to do. Like he's my boss at the job, but we're talking about, okay. And then I start applying for other jobs, and every time he would tell me, do you really want to apply for another job? And then he specifically told me a few times, hey, listen, this is so he's like, if your next job doesn't involve video, it's a waste, it's a shame, right? That was the voice there. So he was very supportive. So then when that happened, when that happened, there was no choice. Like, that's it. The option
you were forced to
right. Yeah, like I always say I was standing on the edge, hesitating, and someone came and just kicked me, and they're like, yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Hey, that was a sign.
Yeah, and that's it. So I was already working with a few people. So like I was working with you guys. So Big City Realty, I was already doing work for them. I did a lot of the pre-construction stuff you guys do. Did a lot of personal stuff for NRSS, personal stuff for each one of you too. But then when that happened, then now instead of me being available only Thursday afternoon and on the weekend, now I'm available. Like, hey, okay, let's do it. And it was like the whole thing in the beginning was a little. Still, even with that, so I was let go. Obviously we're in Canada, we get paid the severance, we get paid the package if they let you go from work. So for me, it was perfect. It was like, hey, listen, we're giving you this chance, whoever it is, I don't know, right? Like, hey, listen, you're gonna get a 6-month window or 5-month window where you're just gonna get a package, and you're just gonna have to figure it out. And then after that, you're on your fucking own. If you can't get it, you're stupid. This is the conversation then that started. Like, this is how the dialogue started changing. Like, dude, what else do you want? Like, just look at this. What else do you want? Exactly. It's been a path that is leading you here. You just have to jump. Would I have done it without them letting me go? Eventually, yes, but I don't know how. Now I'll tell you, there's a very important thing here. There's also influence of people around you. So they tell you, we always hear it, surround yourself with people. 100% true. It sounds like a cliche, but it's 100% true. And Narcissus is the person, and then one of the many people that are like, dude, why? Do it. Here, just do it. Go. Josep, his brother, same thing. Just go. What? Right? So it just, I think it was the perfect storm, and it was there. Obviously, I wanted to do it, right? Like, I saw the opportunity, I wanted to do it, and that's it. It's been an obsession ever since. That's what it is. Like, it's everything is it. Everything is Mshati Productions, and to me, it's whatever it is for you. Like, the dream, like. As a kid, I'm just going to touch on that. For a while, the question that you asked earlier, for a while, I loved those movie effects, like the Matrix stuff. Oh my God, I wanted to do all that stuff. I still do. I just don't have the time. I would love to. So green screens and all that stuff, I was obsessed with it. And we looked into, so I lived in Syria, and we looked into the US to see if, like, what it costs a lot. The program costs like about $25,000 US a year. And then, right, so yes, cool, all that, did some courses back home, but then that was gone. But it was there, like that whole idea of having a studio, doing stuff. now it's real estate. We do stuff with you guys. I mean, we're doing drones, we're superimposing buildings on, so renderings, for example, we fly over an area and then we just put a 3D model of the rendering there. So we're doing advanced stuff that you have studios in the city that are doing. Yes, they have a bigger budget and all that, and they're probably flying a helicopter, but we'll get a helicopter one day, and we'll get probably a like autonomous one day, and we'll just let it fly on its own. But right now, we have like top of the line drones, top of the line cameras, like everything is. The drone that we use right now is a cinema quality, so I could shoot for studios with that drone if they hire me to just fly, for example. There's that stuff. So this is where I'm going with it. This is where I want it to be, and it's just kind of slowly moved from a dream kind of to now. No, this is it. Like, this is it. This is it. You just wake up and you go to your 9 to 5. This is your 9 to 5, except this time you have to tell yourself what you need to do. Sometimes you get stuck, then you call friends, you call, hey, Vuk, hey, listen, man, this is what's going on. Like, what do you think? Hey, Narcisse, this is what's going on. But how you felt, you asked me one of them, right? Like one of them was, was that feeling?
That feeling.
It's yeah. So, I mean, I'm not going to lie. It's a lot of anxiety. And I think at this point, if you're not
of uncomfort,
exactly.
That's absolutely happen, right? Like the fear of the unknown. That's
that's your mind, and that's how we're programmed as people. And like, if it manifests itself, especially now we're stuck at home, because see, notice I didn't even touch on that. This whole thing happened in COVID times, right? Like I got let go, and then March 2020 was COVID. Yeah, it was a bump, passed, and then I just kept going. I was lucky though, because real estate was on fire. Right? Maybe
true.
Right?
Yeah.
Like so I was
within
doing
a month
stuff.
and a half of that, like March, like panic selling period, within a month and a half, it just didn't stop. It was like a runaway train. It's what happened. It's what happened.
I remember March, you and I did the property in March, and it was that week was my busiest week ever. I had done 7 properties all around, like from Bowmanville to the other side. In Hamilton, I think we had a property too. So, but it was nuts. And after that, it just kept going. It was just consistent. And then I started making more contacts, and my work started being noticed more. And then as that went, I didn't wait. So every time, for example, like I noticed, this is working, so you know what do we need? We need a better, like, I need to be able to do this. And then I just went and bought the camera, and sometimes I bought the camera, I had cash. Other times, I mean, it was there, the business was generated, but like, do I keep it? Do I save it? No, fuck it, just get it. Just got another camera. And they're like, the new drone's out. I mean, I've been waiting. Should I buy it now, or should I just wait? Like, just fucking buy it. Just fucking buy it. If you're committed to, I'm not saying just go out and spend your money and on the latest gear if you don't. But I mean, if you see a trajectory, and we could talk about that too. A lot of creative people they just stay creative people, and there's no business acumen. And I mean, I'm fortunate. I was surrounded by it. My dad had a business. All my friends here run their own successful business. Like I was, you know what? I had questions. I would go out and seek answers. And people, you'll be surprised. People are very willing to help. You're probably not asking, or you're probably not you're not interested enough to know. There's information out there. Right?
Or you're afraid to ask because you don't want to seem like you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. Or it might sound like, it's a lot of work. Fuck, man, I don't want to. Exactly. I don't. Yeah,
exactly.
But that was it, man. That was the big decision. The feeling was just anxiety, and honestly, it's on and off. Like, it just keeps coming and going, but you just push through it. Like,
and you get more comfortable with that.
And I think, and I think if you're not anxious about something, that means you don't care.
Exactly.
When I used to go to school, like when I used to go for exams, the exams that I studied for, I used to shit a brick about. But then any exam that I didn't even study for, I was just chilled at that. Just go in, do like I knew. But when you actually put work into something, you always, what if it doesn't work? What if? And I think that's normal for everybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, like the one thing I really like about what you do, because first of all, you're really good at it. So, I mean, kudos, right, to like your talent. But what I like that you do, and why, you sparked my kind of interest, was because you do focus on setting a trend or like doing something different, something new, something ahead of the
Yeah.
curve. And that's not easy to do. And it's something that I always try to do. And it's hard, right? But like that mindset of like thinking, okay, what's the next thing? Let's try to get ahead of it so that we can, let's anticipate with some like educated guesses, right?
Yeah.
And then
I honestly, Luke,
take a risk.
bet it's not like maybe in your line, it might be like if you're dealing with bigger transactions, they're dealing with biggest decisions of people's lives. I get that, right? Like this is it. This is what you're dealing with. For me, I like all the new stuff. I'm always watching. So how we're all glued to our phones and we're scrolling.
Yeah.
When I'm scrolling on my phone, I'm scrolling to see what's happening, like in the sense that I'm always scrolling through latest trends, like on Reels or on TikTok. I'm just scrolling, and then I see something that I like, I save it.
What stops you? What stops the scroll? What's that pattern interrupt? Like, what is that thing?
So right now, it's all those videos that start with something that you have no idea. Those are they're called scroll stoppers, right? Yeah. Like I've done them a lot on some of the big city properties where like a baseball hits the screen and then this is it. Now it's being used a lot. What I'm doing all the time is just looking at different ones. It doesn't have to be like that. Some of them can just be like a weird, like a new perspective of a shot. Like if you're scrolling in a feed right now on your Instagram, and if you see a picture of a car, just a car from the front, or if you could just scroll down maybe, and there's a picture of a car that is shot like a supercar, and the camera was by the front wheel, and it's pointing up, and you could see the mirror, and you could see the roof, and maybe like some logo flag. So there's visual interest. So then you're like, okay, let me see. So now it's also the shots, like what are you giving me, right? Like what is like, if does it look boring or not? And I mean, there's no, but I'm always looking for those interesting kind of, it's different. I haven't seen it. What is this, right? And I try to bring that now because we're doing real estate so much, most of the social content we do is for real estate. I don't want the same old like there's just so much, and I get it. I mean, even that, I don't, can I cuss on here or no? I cuss a lot. I'm trying. I
mean,
okay, I'll keep it PG. I'll keep it. Yeah. But like there's just so much, like the headshots, like same thing, big city, always your headshots are more fun. You're laughing, you're smiling, it's black and white. There's something, it's just there's something you want to look at it like, oh, maybe this guy's not the same. The headshots that are always the same, that's the same example, or that's the same mentality I feel like a lot of people have about video. It's like, or the content in general, not necessarily video. Like we're still there, but we're not there. We're just, it's a different world. Like we have phones in our pockets that's creating content, so we have all kinds of stuff. It's not that. So I'm always trying to find, okay, like, is there appetite for some humor here? For example, like I did one with cussing, like this little kid, you like that one where the camera comes like, oh, what's the, oh shit, what's this? And right,
that was good. That was good.
Yeah, like it, I mean, I've seen that somewhere else. It was something absolutely different. It had nothing to do. It was this girl taking out her teeth, like fake teeth, and then and I took the audio and then just put it there, and I'm like, okay, what can we do this? It's like, oh, it's something cool that's gonna happen. So it's the trend is just an idea. You just have to interpret it to the space that you're want to, and then from that, now I start developing my own style. Like, okay, there's something that can be done here. How about that? And there are a few things I can't. The thing is with content, you can't prove it. You can't. So I've done a few things that I had not seen before, and I'm always scrolling, and people around me are watching. But then I do a certain style of edit, and I find it later on. It starts becoming popular. Maybe someone else did it. I'm not saying I did it, but I would love to. I walk around like I did it. I walk around like feeling like I did, because I know I put everything in there. Like if someone else figured it out, good for him or her, good for them. But
it's how you apply it. It's how you apply it, right? Like that's
absolutely,
that's ultimately, I mean, like a question that popped into my head is like, we're talking about like, gaining attention, right? Like that's the whole point of marketing, is like gaining attention. So the more creative you are, the better you make things look and all that kind of stuff. But like, aside from real estate, what other businesses right now do you work with that are benefiting from having videos and having media put out there? You know what I mean? Like what type of business is your client?
Okay. So anybody that is looking to promote something on like to promote their business right now, they should be looking for video. This is a statement. This is not my opinion. This is proven by stats. This is just done. I'm not saying that. If you have a business, you need someone to see you, you need video. End of story. Like, I'm not saying you don't need photos. I'm not saying you don't need radio. I'm not saying any of that. You just need video. You need people to see, because people are watching videos. Nobody wants to read. Nobody wants to, myself included. Like, you're scrolling like, it's too long. Can I read that? Let me see if there's a video about it. I'm guilty, man. This is it. So I think that's, sorry, I lost my train of thought there.
Like what type of business do you
so I work with
does video, and like what type of businesses are you like particularly good at working with?
So last year we did a big a cookware brand. So a French cookware brand. They're here, and they have, I don't know if the company is French, but they were French products, and they were nice high-end cookware. So pots, pans, tagines to cook some Moroccan food or anything you want to cook with it. So we did a big video. Like, it was high production, medium budget, but we had everything. We had the set, lights, chef there cooking, retakes, multiple cameras going. So we did that last year. My current clients, I have some corporate clients that do a lot of sales videos. They do a lot of presentations. So monthly sales report, let's say, right? Like, who did what, shout outs to so and so, someone had just something motivational for the team, just to
do a video
showcase.
Do a video.
Yeah, we do a video of that. They send me the information. We create animated video of that, like things pop up, and right.
That's like an internal thing that they
yes, it doesn't go out. I don't show it. I don't post it. It's theirs. That's theirs. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
So we do that. That's a monthly thing. We have so right now there's another company called Alpha, a good friend of mine, David. They're an instrumentation, a calibration company, which means I still struggle to explaining it, but these guys sell and calibrate all the super accurate high-end sensors that are used in pharmaceutical plants, in COVID vaccine areas where they're making the vaccines, all that stuff. You have all these filters and measures in place to count how many particles are in the air. So we do content for them. So now we have like an ongoing YouTube channel, YouTube videos. It's called Brands, by the way. You could check it out. It's my friend Mark Brand that works there, that ends up just explaining to you what they're doing about this. It's very niche. It's a lot of pharmaceutical or other plants, water plant, like wastewater plants. They deal with the whole range. Hospitals, food processing. They're just into that. So they sell and calibrate the items. So we do that kind of content. And it's funny. There's each segment we work with it's the different challenges, because like you have to find what's interesting here, like what can I appeal to the person watching it. So a lot of my time is spent actually understanding what they're doing. So we sit down, we talk, I ask questions, they send me stuff, I watch videos, like, okay, and then I look at the competition, who's that. So that's there. Some of the real estate stuff we do, I think I said, is pre-construction. So it's not necessarily the listings that you're seeing, but more, and this book, we've done it together. We do the short bits where we shoot like interview style stuff, and we do that for corporate, and then, or we do a whole project overview from A to Z, basically. So there's that. I've done stuff last year. We've done stuff for Marriott downtown Markham. So downtown Markham, Remington, maybe I'll slow down here, maybe we could cut it but I don't know if they want to be known that it's their Remington did it. I wasn't hired, like I was hired by someone else.
Okay, that's fine.
Right. I'll just take all that. So for so in downtown Markham, we've done stuff for the Marriott. So we did stuff in the rooms, and then we did stuff for downtown Markham as downtown Markham. So we went and shot content for all the stores in there, or not all, but whoever was available, some of the restaurants. And this is content. If you go to downtown Markham's Instagram, you'll see. So if you ever go there, downtown Markham, you see some of the videos, like super sick drone footage going in with some crazy transitions and upbeats. We shared them on Chops Productions Instagram, but yeah, so we've done stuff like that. It's a wide range. It just goes. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody now. I'm thinking, and I'm like, oh, but it goes. I work a lot with Ep.7, so Digilight. So his clients, they'll come. We do a lot of software videos. You have people in the tech industry. They launched a new app. They want to do a video, or you have people that are just, there's a service. I did some stuff for a company in Dubai that wanted a tea. They're selling detox tea, and they needed to create an ad, but the challenge was we have no footage. We just have photos of the tea packages and all that, and everything was done through stock. So we just went and got stock footage and created a story out of just bunch of footage. You just brought it together, you cut it a certain way, color it a certain way, put it in a certain order, add some text, and then it looks like it was all shot for this purpose. It doesn't, I mean, if you know, but you're not trying to hide it. It's just that was one of the challenges, right? That was one of the challenges. You have shots there you have to deal with and then figure it out. But
gotcha. So you solve problems. You solve problems too.
Oh, it's always the case too. I mean, I solve problems every day with Photoshop. I go with my clients and we shoot a place. It doesn't matter how good the place looks. There's always something. There's a wire hanging somewhere. There's I'm just working on a property right now. I'm going to post on it on Instagram. The freaking TV was just slanted. The photo was straight, but the TV on the wall was slanted. And I kept thinking it was the photo. It drove me crazy. And then I just messaged the editor. I'm like, nope, fix I want TV straight. It's just, and I just can't. And I think this is it. Like, to me, because I don't
attention to detail, extreme attention.
Yeah, I'm always trying to not hear from you first as a client. I don't want to hear from you. I want you to call me, email me whenever you want, tell me what you want. And then I want you to hear from me when you need the stuff. In between, I'm happy to collaborate, communicate. I'm always there. But if nothing changes in real estate, everything's changing. Staging goes wrong, something goes wrong. Sometimes we reschedule, absolutely. But if everything is in place and we're booked to do something in that period of time, my goal is to create zero friction. Like, I know you're busy. I don't want to talk to you. I'm busy too. I'll get it done right the first time. You get it. We don't. So sometimes I'll spend extra time doing stuff that might not be necessary. But I know I did it, and I know I covered it,
and you feel good. You feel good.
Yes, absolutely.
That it's done, and that's your attention to detail. That's your personality of being a, I don't want to call it like an overachiever, but I mean, somebody who thinks like that is definitely wired to be, try to do things excellently. I mean, and that's the kind of person that I would want to hire, what I mean? Straight up.
Yeah. And that helps a lot or you get used to it, because I think because I work in real estate, because I work with top performers, everybody I work with is top performer. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to say that. Fuck it. I'm going to say that. But because it is. And if you're a top performer, that's how you're operating anyway.
Exactly.
Right? Like, you're trying, you always want to be, it's there. There's a big fucking piece of cake. It's there. And there's a lot of it, and it's enough for everybody. You just, I mean, I don't know. This goes somewhere else. But
good. Okay. So let me ask you this. My next question would be when you assess risk, how do you do it? Like, what are the things that you think about, whether it's, some kind of risk in business, like going after a client that whatever doesn't need you, or when you buy a property, or, like when you invest in whatever stocks, like whatever, how do you assess risk? What's your process? You don't have to go into it in crazy detail, but give me a rough idea.
I honestly, is it weird if I have not thought about the process? I think now that I have to think about it. But I mean, like
Well, if there's no
I think
process,
there's
then that's what it
intuition.
is.
Listen, there's a lot of intuition. There's always a lot of intuition,
Sure. Yeah.
and there's always a lot of advice. Like I'll risk things, but I'm
Well, you
not
said
risk
advice,
averse, but
right?
I'm
get
like I'll do my research. I'll do my research quite a bit. I would say like I'm willing to leave to bet, throw in a bet, but I don't know, 50%, no, maybe not. I'm willing to put 30, and now I'm getting more comfortable with 40, maybe, like as I get more kind of like, you're scared, you just put your feet in, like, am I sure, am I not? But I think one big thing for me now is, if it's something new I'm not too sure about, if I'm safe, like financially or even physically, but like I'd like to maintain a certain level of comfort, right, with my family, with my daily life. So I'll just put that's the baseline. If anything, so if the risk line is getting close there, then that's not worth it. So there's that buffer. I would say like I have a certain level of buffer that I play with depending on the time, situation, all that. But to me, when I think about it as an experience as well. Like, so if I do this, what's the worst case scenario? And what's the best case scenario? And then depending on where that needle is on the line between there, if it's, I mean, if there's no, like sometimes let's call it a job, it's going to take a week of my time and it's not going to pay me enough, which used to be the case. And everybody that is in the business will tell you this happens all the time. Like you have to, in the beginning, you've done jobs you didn't want to do. You've done jobs that didn't, the risk there was, I don't know, financial loss, but I fucking got a sick ass experience from it. Like I just learned how to do all kinds of things. And so now I think about it that way. So a lot of times, like I'll get opportunities to work on big jobs. I used to kind of like worry about it. Like, hey, we have this big shoot. And I used to be like, Jesus, can I do that? Fuck yeah, you can do that. You just go fucking do it, man. Just do it. Just go do it. So like, okay, what do you need? I'm not saying just go and not be prepared, but like, what do you need? Okay, you need this, you need to do this job. You need 2 cameras, you need 3 mics, you need to, like, we produced a live cooking class from a client's house that was live streamed to YouTube, Facebook, and Zoom.
And that was the first time you did it. Did you do it before? Like did you do that setup?
Like I've done live setups before, but I have not done a big setup like that.
Like a cooking one where you've got heat.
Cooking, I had 2 cameras. No, but not only that, you have 2. Oh, I think about it to me, it's all the shots that I want to present. So I had 3 subjects. I had 2 people and the chef. The chef was cooking. And I had to show the whole interaction. So I had to show, because the people that were in the cooking, so my 2 clients, Paul and Christian, were actually helping. They're cutting out some of the food while he's cooked. So it's an interactive thing. It wasn't just, right, everybody's in the kitchen having drinks. So we had a camera set up to look down just on the food, and a moving camera. And then we had someone switch cameras, just like you're sitting in a studio. So we're talking to each other. I look at him, point, say number 2. We'll switch to camera number 2. It starts showing the chef close up. Then I'll turn the other. So it's awesome. A decent. And then it was all, you had 3 mics ran wirelessly connected to the computer, because we were also recording it, because we used it, of course, as social content later on. So you know, when you go through that process, like for somebody who's like so amateur like me, you know what I mean? Like I've got camera and I've got some setup for like the podcast that I do and like the videos that I do. But honestly, for me, even just this is too much. And then like to think about having 3 people and 2 cameras and microphones and wireless, and like this can go down. Like there's so much, you know, involved there, that like when you know what you actually need to go through to make that happen, it's like, wow. That's the way I see it. You know what I mean? That's, like for me, that's so difficult, and like it's just not at all. Listen, I'm not gonna be like, I mean, the stuff that I do when it comes to
study, did you get like advice from somebody on how to set it up, or was it all intuitive?
No, I researched it and tried it, and then called. If there's opportunity for someone to ask, absolutely. But most of it was just self-taught. The audio part, at least, because audio is a whole different beast, by the way. Like video, you could just grab camera. Audio, then when you're setting up, you have mics. It's a little, right, like eventually for these events, I'll hire an audio person.
Yeah.
Like, so we'll have on the Mshati Productions, we'll have someone that takes care of audio, because why not? Of course, like we would, because my experience, I want to give you, like, it's a whole media experience. Podcasts might be coming, like, and I've been talking about, I think you and I talked about it, Narcisse and I talked about it. I would like to be able to provide a space for people to just come in, record your shit and go. Don't worry about anything else. You just show up, come have a coffee here, bring your guest here, right? Like it's that type of environment.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I'd like to, I think that's the next step. The next goal for me is, so we're officially incorporated, so it's Mshati Productions Inc.
Nice.
And the next step, I think, would be to have an office with a little studio space that people can actually come in, do that, right? Whether it's for video stuff, shoots, like now a lot of clients, we do headshots, of course. Didn't promote it before because I was just not focused on it, but now I think this year a lot of people ask for it, so I'm like, you know what, headshots, sure, we're doing headshots. So now I actively talk about it, promote it. I have someone dedicated to do them, and it's just like that. So,
do you bring people into a studio, or do you go to them?
So right now I go to them, or we could book a studio depending on the shoot. That's where I was going with this.
Got it.
So if in the office we could do it, sometimes in the summer you could do it outside with nice blurred backgrounds, greenery, whatever it is you want to do, something cool. Downtown, CN Tower, like we could. Again, the same philosophy I have with video, I have with photos. It's just you don't want boring. It has to be something else. But so yeah, I have so. Once we have the space, then you can bring them in and you don't have to worry about where. We have the option, you can change. But I do have contacts at few studios in the city, so if I need it, I could just call them and they give me the space.
Got you. I mean, that's exciting, bro. Like, that's really exciting, you know, to go from zero, basically, like, you know, with nothing in whatever 2020 or whatever it was, just starting, to being now in a position where you're like, you know, looking to like have a space and, you know, provide service upon service upon service. That's what it is, right? You're building tiers of what it is that you're going to offer. And I think that's like very, very smart. So
absolutely.
All right, man. Let me ask you this. What's your take on the real estate market? Where do you think it's going to go?
I think it's fucking insane. I think it's fucking insane. I know you think it's insane too. I think like it's not insane in the sense like it's just going up.
Well,
but
it's not balanced.
What I think, I don't think it's gonna crash. At least that's now what I believe, because I've seen, I see realtors as much as realtors see realtors, probably.
Yeah.
So right, like, so they just, I don't think it will crash, but I think it can't just continue like this. Like something's gonna happen. I don't know what it is. It's gonna be forced by other events, right? Like now COVID, whatever, political, or whatever it is, or if it's going to be banks, like the government deliberately saying, hey, listen, we're just going to jack up the interest rates. Let's just see what's happening. Like but I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not a very good financial analyst and this is why, like, even with real estate, I blindly trust my realtor. Right, like I just, he says do it, you just do it. That's
good.
And I think that's the relation you want, because like he's the expert. I mean, I could have my opinion, but fuck.
Well, because you trust and you know and you see that he's been doing it and has been successful. So it's easy to trust someone like that, right? That like believes in it, does it themselves, has their own skin in the game. Yeah. Right. Like, but if it's not that way, then it's like, okay, well, why are you selling me what you're selling? You know, if you don't believe it. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, then no, absolutely. So that's why you go to big city. I don't know. You go to big city realty. You don't go to shitty brokerage somewhere. That's it.
Hey, you said it. You said it, man. Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry about it, man.
No, but really, I mean, look, interest rates go up 1%. We're going to be back to where we were a year ago. It's going to cost everybody an extra $150 a month. Whoever owns real estate is going to make sure that they make that happen, because they'd rather own it than not. That's the way I see it. You know what I mean? So interest rates going up at an exponential rate from here on just slows everything down, and the economy in general shuts down, which can't happen. So it's like, there aren't too many places to go from here other than try to go after investors. And that's what might happen. They might make it more difficult for investors to reinvest their money. on
see.
speculation, right? They'll like
Yeah,
make it
yeah.
harder to sell within a year.
Okay,
You
okay,
know what I mean?
okay.
So that you
Yeah, yeah,
stop
yeah,
that
yeah.
like turnover, because it's that turnover that's like pushing the prices, right? And then you have
Mm-hmm,
obviously the
mm-hmm,
imbalance
mm-hmm.
of supply and demand that continues to like, roll. And so with 100,000 people coming here every year, or at least expected to, and a relatively tight supply as it is.
Yes, yes. I mean, it's basic supply and demand. It's just, yeah, and I know, like, see, I'm not in the market. I mean, meaning I'm not a realtor, but even I know the like, there's just not a lot of units. Listen, we're busy, but just because we have a big base of clients, so yes, there's not enough supply, but the market is on fire. It's moving. It's just,
Well,
there's properties. I think just relatively there's no supply.
I mean, look, at any given point in time, there's about 3,000 to 4,000 units for sale in the GTA.
Yeah.
3,000 to 4,000 units for sale in the GTA. Think about that.
Wow.
How many people are in
Yeah.
the GTA? What's the population? What?
What?
6
I don't
million, 8
know.
million, whatever.
8
4
probably.
million?
Yeah. Yeah.
Something like that. So, I mean, like that number is just, it's a massive, like there's a massive gap. And then you've got immigration. Sure, some people are leaving Ontario because of everything that's happening.
Mhm.
But I think on a net migration basis, there's like a positive, and it's growing.
Yeah, and I mean, it slowed down in the past couple of these years, but then
Exactly.
it's just gonna go. Yeah, I don't think. Listen, the best. I think that's it. That's the point where I'm like, you know what, fuck, we need to buy something, because we dragged our feet too. Listen, if you want to talk about that side too, I was that person, and like my wife and I were like, we're making okay money, but in Toronto, like, fuck, okay money, even if it becomes good money, very good money, it's not moving as fast as real estate. So like from the point you're starting your career making 50 to, I don't know, one day you're making 500,000. You can't keep up. It doesn't matter. I'm not saying you're not going to make more. You'll make more. You just
But how many
can't keep
people
up.
get to 500,000?
Yeah, well,
on an income.
Yeah,
like that's
like okay. Listen, I went crazy on that. Let's say 100,000, even that, because some people will tell you,
you were
oh, well,
getting paid well. Huh?
I know, right? No, I was thinking, I'm always manifesting, so I'm just thinking about that's where it is. But no, like, I think we dragged our feet quite a bit, and then finally you were like, okay, you know what? And again, good realtor. Again, I go back to, like I said that a couple times, realtor, but also good influence. People around you that want your interest, and you're constantly talking to them, you're honest about it, like calls, like, listen, there's this project, fucking buy it. That's it. Like just, that's it, enough, like, right, like, just do it. And but he also understands, and he knew I was there. I was that point. I was right, like, for a while we're like, yeah, we don't know, but it's a quote, buy real estate, they don't make it anymore. And this is it. It's just gonna
is that Mark Twain? No.
I don't know who said that.
I think it is,
but
Mark
it's great.
Twain. Because
You and I talk about these things in general anyway. Like, I come to you sometimes with advice, I ask you questions, so I don't know, man, I'm not the best person to tell you what's going to happen.
So you're in a bit of an echo chamber around, real estate agents and
brokers.
brokers.
I hear the conversation. I'm always what I know more is how the interactions work, right, like, more than the market. I know the kind of like how you're dealing with, what this means. Like, I understand the market from my perspective, because then I'm trying to, again, minimize all that, like the seller's agent and the buyer's agent and all that stuff. Like, like when I put the pictures, I'll get clients to say, like, I'll get a client tell their realtor, who's my client, hey, we don't like this video like that. Like, the change is not coming from the realtor, right? Oh, wow. Because they're people in film. Like, we did a unit for someone that has been like a videographer, traveled the world with the government, right? So the photos they didn't like. They're like, no, these are very, like, because they're looking for artistic photos, right? And we do those more for design, but for real estate, all the photos should be wide. You want to show that the space is big, right? Like, that's that's what we focus on. So it's interesting, depending on who you're dealing with, who you're working with, where it goes.
That's why I got into real estate, because I enjoy the fact that I get to work with people from every different part of
Yeah,
society, more, you know, like
100%,
from every different part of like
100%.
the world, in the sense of like everybody has different talents. And I'm super interested. Like I've got a certain talent that I use. You've got a certain talent, and it's very different.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I
I
mean?
remember when you and I first met, we chatted about that too. We are like, I remember that first unit that we did, the Carla.
Yeah.
We killed that one. That was our first. It was a mess. See, that was to me,
Yeah,
that feels
I
like so
remember.
long ago. To me, that feels so long ago. And so many things. I messed up on the audio with that one. Again, I tell you, audio is there, right? The light was there, but just the unit, like I was that I was right there. I was going through that kind of like you're sucked into between two different places. You're like,
Yeah,
this is it. I'm going there. This is where I'm going. So
yeah,
like, okay, this camera needs to change. I can't do this with it. This audio system needs to change. It's not working. So
yeah,
how can we make it work? And then that's it. You just chase it.
yeah. But
Yeah.
honestly, that feeling, because I know that feeling, right? Of like, and there's that like something was pulling you to say, I don't know if I should just like, this is just a little too much. Hold on. But like that, like the energy that it takes to break through that and keep going and push
Yeah.
yourself to do it again. And like, oh man, I don't want to do this. Like I'm kind of, I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know how this is going to work out. I don't know if I'm going to get the right,
Yes.
whatever. In your case, the right angle, the right lighting, whatever.
Yeah.
But like you do it anyway, you figure it out. Yeah, you make some mistakes. You have to like work on it. You have to deal with that stress and anxiety and like additional pressure. And you got your family, you know, wanting you to do things, but it's like, no, I got to finish this. Like all of that stuff takes so much energy, right? And that's why I
100%.
have gray hairs this year. Because
Yeah.
this is
Yeah. I
like
mean,
the
fuck,
first
look at
time
that.
that
Look
I've,
at that. Look at the beard, man. What are you saying?
but man, like, you know, we're sitting here and we're laughing and it's Monday. And usually I'm like, oh my God, I have 4 more days to go in the week. And it's not even like the end of
Yeah. Yeah. I don't, weekends don't mean shit.
it, right?
Weekends don't
Yeah.
mean anything.
You'd
Weekends
almost
are
rather,
days. Yeah, weekends
exactly.
are days that are like, I mean, I try, but this weekend, for example, no way. Like I was working till Saturday. I didn't come home until 6, 7, and then of course there's the editing. And I want to say that I want to make sure it's on the record, just so uh, I don't do all this on my own anymore. So I have people that shoot with me or go shoot for me, and then we have 3 editors, so 3 video editors and 2 photo editors that are just handling photos. So uh, 24 hours. I know like a lot of people want 24-hour photos. Most of the time we do it way before 24 hours, but we say 24 hours just because, you know, stuff happens. Yeah.
Mm,
But there's there's a team working. It's not just myself. I'm
sure.
actually trying to kind of delegate a lot of the editing, all that admin stuff, so I could focus on being out there doing the stuff that I want to do,
But
and then get the business going.
and see, that's the thing. Like I love that, because like had you stayed in your job, you'd be one person working one job, you know, basically committing and dedicating your time to that one company, right? Now that
Absolutely.
you've gone and done what you've done, and you know, you had to start it, but now you're creating jobs. You're
Yeah.
paying
Yeah.
people.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
you are just naturally more, I don't know, like maybe it sounds weird to say, but like you're just more valuable to society on a
You're
whole.
achieving more. You're doing more. You're doing more. Naturally, you're doing more
Yeah,
because,
you're
but
doing
you know what? Like you doing more, you can, because it's there. You just, when you get comfortable and you get stuck in a job. I mean, I get it. Not everybody gets the opportunity to listen. Luck, there was luck there, 100%. But luck on its own, if you throw it at someone, they're not ready to catch it. Like I think what Kevin Hart was saying it, and I think I sent you that podcast. Kevin Hart with Joe Rogan. He was
okay.
there, and he told him, it's like, you have to show up ready all the time. You
Yeah.
have to be ready. You
Yeah.
don't know when it
Yeah.
comes, and
Yeah.
then it comes. If you're ready, you're there. But if you're not ready and it comes, like, you
Yeah. It's
missed
gonna
it.
pass you by. It's gonna pass you
So
by.
you wake up every day and you're ready, and you just wait for it to come. It's like a bus, I think he said. Like you just stand there and it's just gonna, it'll come. I don't know when, but it's gonna come. If you show up, you're there. Yeah. That's at least that's been my experience, because I know a lot of people will hear it and say, well, you know, yeah, you got the opportunity. Some people don't get it. Yeah, but I mean, there's work out there. Like I think there are ways to improve. It's just tough. I know it's tough. And again, you said it, like the situation where you are right now, the current whole, like everything that's happening in the world, right? It People are down, man. There's a
I know.
big, like, so I do feel better now too. Like I imagine if I was still working 9 to 5, holy shit. No, like, I mean, because I see the people around me, same thing. You're home all day, you're working, and most of them are working more. It's not like
100%.
you're working from home, so it's easy, or no, you're working more.
Yeah. No, I know. Like, look, it's not everybody's time all the time. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
everybody has their time when it's there. It might not be now. You might be in a funk, and that's okay because we've all been in that funk, right? You'll get out of it, but like it's a struggle to get out. And then once you get out, you got to want more. And so when you do get to that point where it is your time, like you said, you got to show up ready, and you got to
Yeah,
take the
yeah,
opportunity then. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Life is short, but it's long enough to make something pretty cool of it if you
Okay.
if you're willing to put that effort in, I think. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Sorry, I got
you know what I mean?
distracted for a second because the editor just messaged me. So another part of the business right now is I'm implementing a system. So I have a system of all my editors are sitting in one. So we use Google Chat. I don't know if you've ever used Google Chat. It's
Yeah.
really great. So we use Google Chat, and I have a room or a space, it's called, for each editor with an assistant that
Gotcha.
helps me out when I'm not there, and then they finish the work, shows up there, and then I deliver it, right? So I'm trying to work on that process because, again, I don't want to be, the business is at a point where it's getting busy, and I don't want to be in a position where Vuk calls me and I say, no, I'm busy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the only way to do it right now is to be able to have other people do other stuff so I could continue to do what I need to do.
You got to outsource. You got to outsource.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you grow.
absolutely. Yeah.
Good. And that's the
I
side
mean,
of it, is that,
outsource, employ, depending, like, it's just, you need someone to do something. Delegate
yeah,
is the word,
delegate. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Delegate.
Yeah,
Delegate.
yeah.
Good, bro. Good. I mean, I'm super, proud and to like see you making these like big strides and moving forward, and just keep at it. Keep at it. You know what I
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I
mean?
appreciate you doing this. I mean, when you called me, you said we're doing a podcast. I'm like, what? Oh, man.
And
Look, I'm just the guy doing my thing, man. I mean, it's just, it's all,
because you
it's,
know what I
it's,
realized? I realized like we have these conversations and there's things that we say that are like pretty cool. And
yeah,
that I know somebody needs to hear. Cause I know people that are on the fence about real estate. You know what I mean? And
yes,
and now and I didn't remember that you were on the fence. But now that
yeah,
you're in the market, right?
yeah.
You kind of see that there's a
Oh,
benefit,
yes.
right?
Oh my God, yes. So this is, I was going to touch on that, but I didn't want to know. You were asking me about the business and personal stuff. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other decision. When we moved here in 2013, things were cheaper, but we still didn't have enough. But we started making money, and we just, I don't know, like, we just did not see it. Yeah, I wish
Yeah.
I saw it.
Yeah.
But at the time, you're sitting there like, well, I don't have enough. Right, like, where you'll just, you should, it's a faith, it's a leap faith, but I think it's a mentality, and you cannot convince someone that does not believe in real estate to yeah, right, like, you have to feel right, because I also didn't want to make a decision and then worry about it until I'm proven wrong, right? Like, you're
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
be proven wrong,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
there was that period of like,
Yeah.
and then, like, I'm not saying go invest every dime you have in real estate. That doesn't make sense. But, like, if you have a stable life, you have a certain level of income, and you can afford whatever it is that you could afford, just something, you don't. I think that's one thing too. People, when they talk about buy a house, they automatically think about buy something to live in it. No. And that was a big thing for us too. Like, you know what? No, I'm okay where I live right now. I like it. I like my setup. I mean, we rent, right? Because there's a lot of hate on rent too. And I could talk on the other side. Like, a lot of realtors, oh, you're paying someone else's rent. You know what? Yeah, I get it. But I'm also getting quite a bit of value here, right? Like, here's how much money I'm making. Here's how much money I'm spending. Here's where I am. I have access to all these things that, right? Yeah, I might be able to buy a house, but then how is my quality of life going to change? Am I going to be miserable for about 5 years? Maybe. Yeah. Like, I could do that, but
For sure.
right now, right? Like, I have a new, so I think there's like you have to work. And I think that's what good realtors will kind of help their clients realize. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I get it. I understand, but here's the trajectory, right? Can you do it next year, for example? Can we start at that goal at least? Can we talk about it, right? Can we put a date? Like, okay, by this date, you should have this much, right? Or this is the plan, right? Like I think just have the conversation, man. Just
Exactly.
go get a mortgage approval and see what you can. You don't know. How would you know? You have to know, like, right? Just try it.
Absolutely. And I think what's super important to like remember is that these periods of time where there's this much like growth and development doesn't happen forever.
Yeah,
And it
100%.
right. And it happens to be happening here. And we happen to be alive and able to invest in this market while it's happening. You got to take advantage of that.
Yeah,
Because it's
100%.
not because I mean, name how many places in the world this same thing is happening. There aren't many. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
take advantage while it's there because it won't always. And then when it
Listen,
stops, that's when you gotta find something else.
you know how yeah, 100% you have to change. There's something else. But I think about this exactly in the future. So I always think about going in the future and thinking back 20 years and like what would the story be?
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh well, listen, he made money in the Toronto real estate boom, for example, right? Because it's a thing.
There
It's
you go.
happening. We're
Yeah.
living it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right? Or like
100%.
he made a lot of people, he made money in COVID. That's gonna happen. People,
Yeah.
a
Well,
lot of people made
there's
money in
movies
COVID.
probably coming out. We're gonna see some movies over the next couple of
Absolutely,
years, right? Like
absolutely,
the whole
absolutely.
Wall
So
Street bets. The whole Wall Street bets. There's actually
yes,
is a movie that's coming out on that.
yeah,
Yeah. 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 It's gonna be good.
yeah. So it's that kind of stuff. So I think about it, I'm like, okay, so if that's the story, do I not want to be one of those? Like when they say he did this during this, right? Like there's an opportunity. Do I want to be included? Oh, yeah, man. I was there. I don't
Because it
know.
makes sense. Because it makes sense, and it's a valuable thing to kind of put your put your money down on. If if you're thinking about that, like if you care to like grow your wealth, then it makes sense. If you don't, like you said, man, like there's a lot of people that I know as well that are saying, you know what, no, I'd rather not, because I like my freedom. I like to be able to go and live here for 3 months and then go live there for 3 months and go do this. And that's an amazing life. I would love to have that life. You know what I mean? It's not my life right now.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
me, it's like maybe I can create that life in the future.
Yes. Yeah. So we did that. We were in that spot. We wanted to travel for a little bit. That's what we wanted. We wanted to travel. This kid was still young before the kid. We wanted to just live a little bit. Traveled even until now. Like because I have family lives abroad, right? So you have to both sides. So we have to keep that in mind and so factor that in. So then when we put a budget, they're like, okay, here's how much for travel, here's how much for this, here's how much for this, and here's the goal. Maybe eating out has to like go, that fund has to move here or that fund, right? Like I think people underestimate how much they spend on bullshit, by the way. Like people, like if you go through your daily transactions, then you'll see like just random shit, but if it adds up, it adds up, and it's
That's true.
I think that's another thing that we had to, like, we put a budget, we realized, okay, we have to.
Yeah. That's why, I mean, that, I mentioned it. Like for me, the way I do it is like, I have money, I invest it. I make sure that I'm thinking about what I'm going to put it in, but once I get it, I put it away so that I can't erode it.
Touch it. Yeah.
And if I'm left with nothing, well then damn, then I've got to figure something out for what I want, but this is what I need. So I'm putting that, you know what I mean? I want to create that future kind of retirement fund. It's like a savings fund. It's like, it's like a tree. You got to plant it early enough.
Yeah. 100%. And it's, I mean, again, it's real estate. Like, in all my, so some people focus on real estate. That's where the wealth is, all that. Sure. I will invest in real estate, but I also believe that what I'm doing also can make me money. Right. And growing this business can grow me money. So I invest in that as well. Like my time I'm putting in there, I'm putting money in there. So it's not like, I mean, some people out there might tell you, you know what, yeah, not real estate. Sure, man, whatever it is. Like if you have something and you know it's like you said, it's a seed and you think this could go into something, nurture it, do it, try it. Because that's another key thing, actually, I think, core to your podcast is what, like one of the advices and James gave me. He's like, sure, you know what, because I was talking to him, I'm like, listen, work is not good. This is the first year, the doubt, right? Like the first 6 months, COVID, and then package is running out. I'm like, you know what, if it's not working, like, I don't know, I told him, if it's not working, then I'll go back, I'll just apply for jobs. That's the worst case scenario. Remember when I was telling you risk? And so worst case scenario, apply for another job. So he goes, And maybe you should think about that. It's like, just think about what it feels like to prepare for an interview and go for a job tomorrow. Just think about that, then decide. And then, like, if you sit down and think about that feeling, fuck, just get ready, and you're just like, oh, and they're gonna ask me this, and you're gonna sit there, and they're just like looking at you like, oh, who the fuck is this guy, right? Like, it's just not comfortable. I mean, they try to laugh and smile, but they just sit on a different side of the table. Listen, my company, when you come to work from Mshati Productions, it's just gonna be like this: hoodies. You get a hoodie, Mshati Productions, or they just do your shit. It doesn't matter how you look. It's just right. So anyway, there's.
You get to create the vibe now. You get to create the vibe.
Absolutely. So So, but then the point I was trying to make is that it's like, think about that. You don't want to do that. So then the conversation changed from if to there's no if, like, not if this doesn't work out. No, it's like when, or we're talking about, okay, instead of next year, if it doesn't work, I'll go, no, next year I'm gonna buy this. This is what I'm upgrading the drone. So last year I got a new drone, right? Added it to inventory. So I think it's the mindset that changes too. Like, if you go up a mountain, if you're trying to climb a mountain to the top, and once you get to the top, you realize on the other side there's another mountain. So what do? Do you go down? You just fucking keep going. Like, I mean, we're here now. I mean, right? Like,
it's almost as much effort to go back as it is to go forward.
Just keep going, because you don't know what's happening. Like, if you stay in your place, maybe something will run you over too. I don't know. Just keep moving.
All right, bro. Listen, I mean, there's so much there. We're gonna have to have a part 2, but I wanna.
You could cut it all if you want.
I definitely wanna, like, I want to feature some of your stuff, like your
absolutely, man.
Your media.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
All right, look, I'm gonna put you on the spot, and then we're gonna call it a wrap.
Oh shit!
Ready?
What do we do?
I'm gonna put you on the spot. I'm gonna ask you a couple questions.
Okay. Shit. Okay. Jesus Christ. Yeah, let's go.
All right, ready? First one is, how many pull-ups and push-ups can you do? Let's talk about your fitness.
Oh God, maybe 20 push-ups, pull-ups 1 probably. Right now, no, I'm done. I haven't dislocated. I dislocated my shoulder 2 years ago, and after that, nothing has been the same. Maybe 2, but it's. I could still do.
We got to get those numbers up. We got to get those numbers.
Yeah, we have to, man. I mean, we met in a later part of my life. In the previous part, you could ask, but yes, hold me accountable to it. I'd love to. I have everything in the gym.
Listen, summer's coming around. I know you have a little gym in that garage, so
yes,
I'm going to be coming by to check on you,
dude. There's a rowing machine right there in front of me now too.
All right.
Yeah. I have no excuses. It's just, that's the thing.
When I see you, minimum of 10. Get on that.
Okay, Jesus Christ.
Get on.
Okay. That used, by the way, the gym used to be an obsession one day, and then I took all that obsession. Now it's in the business. So that's all my energy is there, but I need to. I feel better too. Anyway, what's the next question?
All right. Ready? Next one.
Yeah.
If you had 150K right now, what would you do with it?
I'll buy real estate.
No, but it doesn't have to.
Maybe not all of it. Listen,
it doesn't have to be an investment. You have some investment. Is that still what you would do?
Yeah, I want to buy real estate. I want to buy a property in Halifax, because my wife is from Halifax. Halifax is booming. By the way, I mean, check it out. I think Halifax is booming. A lot of people are moving to Halifax. Immigration is open in Halifax. The city is growing. I went there Thanksgiving. There's pre-construction everywhere, just building her up, and like this, the view in my head automatically, I'm thinking Toronto. Like, it's going up. There's a lot of development, so I think there's opportunity. So I would definitely buy something there. Maybe like some pre-construction.
I think you could almost buy a whole house in Halifax for 150. A couple years.
Yeah, right now some of them are 300,000-400,000. Like, we're there, but they're going up. 2019 or 2020, one of the guys, I was talking to one of the realtors there, because I started to connect with people there. He was saying they had not seen sold over asking until recent, like 21 or 2021, 2020. So it's going up. So I think I would buy something there, and then maybe the rest of the money, I don't know, I probably travel. I need the, like, I don't know. I'll take a little bit of it for fun, but I'm definitely making more money with it. I don't.
Good. Okay. All right. Last question. It's a bit of a trick question, so think about it carefully. Okay. What do you actually find at the end of a rainbow?
I never thought about it. I mean,
okay, I'll say it again. what do you actually find at the
A
end?
W.
Oh,
A
you
W.
got it. Good.
A W, my letter, my first initial, man. What are you saying? Okay,
Good.
I get you.
Awesome. Awesome.
All right,
Awesome.
all right.
Awesome. I thought I was gonna stump you on that one, but you came through.
No, man, no. It's a yeah. We could do riddles. I like riddles.
Good.
That's funny.
Good.
That's
Good.
funny,
All right.
bro.
I
I
love that.
appreciate this, man. This is fun. I mean,
Good.
we always do this anyway. Like we talked, not as much, but we talked for about 20 minutes before we even start recording too.
Exactly.
So this is an ongoing thing.
This is
So
an ongoing
I
thing.
appreciate it. I'm happy. Like I'm honored. What are you now? Which episode are we on? Tell me a little bit about the podcast. How did it start? You didn't tell me that.
We're on episode number, I think you're number 8 or 7 or 8.
Yeah.
So
Maybe I should.
Like, I just kind of went into it. I don't even have like an intro at the beginning, you know, and then Roxana's like, I think you should have a bit of an intro, like tell people who you are, why you're doing it.
So I told you, and now I'm gonna hold myself accountable before it goes. I want to go on record. We're creating we're creating a promo for the podcast now.
Boom.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I need people to hold me accountable sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't do it to myself. Like, I mean, I will for certain things, but like stuff that I don't feel is like super important, I end up never like, you know, getting around to it. And the marketing side and like the media side, the stuff that you're good at, to me, that's like over my head, man.
I'll tell you, to me, even for my business, I'm lacking a little bit compared to what I should be doing. But now I'm changing that. But so of course I fall in a unique position. I'm fortunate because I could use the content that I'm creating for my clients as content on my page. But my goal is to create more Mshati production specific content, like content for me to promote just who we are and like this conversations. I don't know if you noticed lately, I'm starting to do more stories. I'm starting to like, I want to show a little bit behind the scenes because I don't know, so many reasons, man. People need to see what you're doing. They connect with you more. You do it too. I know the series that you're doing with the videos, with highlighting local businesses. I think that's amazing. The editing skills are like, I mean, I think it's great. So listen, I I'm always around, whatever you need, but I think this is great. Cool, hopefully, cool. Yeah, keep doing it, man. Keep doing it, and maybe like we'll do a next year, kind of like a touch base, like, hey, where are you at? Where are they now?
For sure. Yeah. Well, I'm looking for, you know, I want to interview people that have like stories like you do. You know what I mean? That came from something, had a thought process, had something in their head, and then were willing to go. And I mean, you were forced to do it, but you could have also went backwards. And you said, this is my time. I
was already making significant side money from just this. Like it was there. I was putting time into it. I invested. My computer was already built. I had cameras. I was buying stuff. I had a very advanced drone at the time. Like I had the stuff. I just never thought about, you know, like, can I do it full time? Like, the idea is not just, I'm making money, but now I'm making more money. So I have to leave that money. And then until I believe that, even if I just throw away the current salary, this is it. And I mean, I could tell you this, you want to put it or not, but I mean, second year of the business, I don't look back at the salary of the company. I don't even think about it. Like,
well, but that's the important thing, right? Like you're not just going to blindly jump. You have to have some level of confidence that what you're about to do is going to, like, you have to set yourself up for success. And that's what you did. You're working on it as a side hustle, and rightly so. I mean, you should do that. You should have a side hustle. If you don't have a side hustle, then you got to think, what are you doing with the rest of your time?
100%.
After work. So,
all right, man.
This was fun.
Thank you very much.
We're going to do it again. And I hope anybody listening, if you've been listening, that there's some interesting stuff that you came out of this. And if you're a business and you need some video editing, you know, media production stuff, Wisam's your man.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. And they could reach out. Like, I mean, you have questions. I don't like just like this conversation. If you have a business, you want to know like what's what, just shoot me a text, call, whatever it is. Like, hey, what's going on Instagram? It's all good. I'm not, cool. We're
You're
relaxed.
an easy person to talk to.
Yeah, we're relaxed.
This has been going on for like an hour plus. I don't even know how
long. All right, shut it down, brother.
Okay, man. I'll see you.
Cheers. Yeah. Peace. Bye.